Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here, back with a new movie. The name of this movie is What If Naruto Was Built by His Parents. Now before continuing this movie, I would like to tell you that it is an unscripted movie as well. And if you like the content of this channel, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's begin with our story. Our story begins 6 years later, the Kyuubi attack. In Konoha no Sato, in a peaceful evening, as we go to Uzumaki Namikaze compound, both Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki were able to survive the Kyuubi attack and safely seal the Kyuubi inside their second-born son, Minma Uzumaki Namikaze. As we go to the compound to see that both of the children, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the older brother who was currently at the age of 8, and his younger brother Menma Uzumaki Namikaze at the age of 6 were playing in the backyard. It was already late in the night time while their mother was busy with their friends who was none other than Mikoto Uchiha and Tezumi Inuzuka, as Minato was busy inside his Hokage office doing the paperwork. As his mother got up and went to the backyard to call both of her children back to go to sleep already. Menma, Naruto, come inside the house and brush your teeth and change your clothes and go back to sleep already. It's already late. As both of the children groaned, but a glare from their mother and they both dashed inside their house. As their mother chuckled at their antics, she sighed as she thought how happy their life was. Even after the Kyuubi attack, she was happy that both of them were able to survive, and not only that, their baby boys were happy and getting along as well. She was finally able to achieve her dream of a happy family, alongside with Minato, of course. As unknown to everyone and Kushina, it was about to come to an end, as a man was watching them from the shadows. He had a slashed forehead protector with a mark of Eva. He was a missing nin from there, as he glared daggers at the children. I will avenge my son by killing yours, Minato. You will feel the same pain that I have felt. I don't care even if it cost me my life. I will end your legacy like you ended mine, he said before he sanctioned away into the darkness, as the family didn't know anything about that. In the night, Minato returned as they had their family dinner, and after that they chatted some and laughed at a bit of jokes, and both of the children turned to their beds in the night, as did their parents. In the middle of the night, Naruto suddenly woke up as he felt thirsty. After he went down to get a glass of water, he went upstairs, and as soon as he opened the door, his eyes widened. In front of his brother's bed stood a man who was about to slash a kunai into his brother, as Naruto without a second thought dashed at the man, and before the kunai met his brother, it impaled Naruto's chest. As Menma woke up suddenly, Menma rushed towards Kachan and Tochan. Get help! Hurry! Said Naruto as he was slashed, before the man grabbed Naruto by the neck, yanking the kunai out of him and slashing it again into his gut. Naruto winced in pain as both of his parents woke up at his scream and wince, as Menma started to dash out of the room. You're not going anywhere. As he heard the parents call, Menma, Naruto, what's going on up there? As Menma yelled, Kachan, Tochan, help! As both of the parents dashed up inside their room, as the man then thought, damn it, I have to use that jutsu, it's now or never. He finished the hand seals. As the parent entered the room, there was a bright light that engulfed the said room, before a large boom was heard. And when the light died down, there was nothing left in the room, as the room was totally engulfed, as if there was nothing. Both of the parents' eyes widened, as suddenly two things fall from the sky to the ground. It was the forehead protector of the shinobi who murdered their son, and their son's shirt, still fresh with his blood, somewhat torn as well. As Kushina, with shaking steps, went towards the shirt, as she grabbed the shirt and hugged it close to her heart as tears started to fall down. My baby. He took away my son, Minato. As Minato, for the first time in his life, felt that him being strong was the reason that his son died, but he shook his head as his eyes became cold as ice. As he then said, walking towards his wife and grabbing her shoulder, we will mourn for him later. We have to call for Anbu and send them for meeting for council. As an Anbu arrived, it was Kakashi, his student. Sensei, What happened? They took away my son, Kakashi. Naruto is gone. Kakashi's eyes widened. Another one of his precious people lost. His teammates, his father, now his little brother figure, all gone. As his eyes dulled as well at the thought. Naruto was a bright child, and Kakashi for the first time felt fulfillment when Naruto called him Nissan. And he vowed that day that he will protect Naruto. It looks like he yet again failed to do so. As Kakashi nodded without saying anything and went to call on the council. As after the council meeting was called after half an hour, Minato went there as Kushina, still hugging that shirt of her child, entered the council chambers. As everyone was surprised by that, even her friends, as they left her happy. As when they saw the shirt, they knew something was happened, and it may be the cause of her such state. As Hiyashi asked Minato, "What happened to Kushina? Why is she like this?" It will be revealed in the future, Hokage Yuga-san. Please just sit down for now. Hiyashi was quite surprised by Minato's professional tone, but he did as complied. And after the elders entered, the meeting was in session. As Hiruzen asked, "Minato, what is the reason of calling this meeting?" "They took away my son," Kushina said, as everyone turned towards her. Someone confused. "Who took your son?" Hiruzen asked, feeling a little bit of having a bad feeling already. "Aniwa Shinobi and Nyukunin just attacked our house, and, well, Naruto protected his brother, as Menma said, and he died at his hand. The man used some kind of new jutsu on himself, and my son was in his grip, and both of them died. Not even their bodies were found. It's like they're disintegrated." As everyone's eyes widened, they knew Naruto, as most of them were Minato's friends. Some of the civilians as well, mainly Mabuki, Haruno. As she looked at Kushina with sorrow, Naruto was a bright child as well. She knew of him, but now he was no more. It was kind of heart-wrenching to see that a 6-year-old, an innocent child, died at the hand of an revengeful bastard from Eva. As then Hiruzen then said in a dark tone, shocking everyone, "Should we go to a war with Eva and show them what they did to us?" "No," Minato said, as Kushina then looked at him in betrayal. "Minato, how could you say that? Even after they took away our son. I have a plan now. I'm going to put him back together." Naruto's broken. As everyone was quite shocked at that, and were, well, horrified at what their Hokage said, as they saw his cold eyes, and had one thought in their mind: he's broken. Oh no, this is bad. Now, many shinobis who turned Nyukunin were bad enough for village, but those who were broken were the worst. They could, heck, destroy their world, even if they wanted to, by their madness that was engulfed in them after the loss of their loved ones. It was even more cursed than a curse of hatred of Uchiha clan. As Fugaku then said, "Minato, calm down. Yes, you need a break, Minato. You are free from Hokage's duty, and we'll give you an year or so to reconcile and get your thoughts together. Meanwhile, I'll look after the position," Hiruzen said, as everyone nodded and agreed to that. As Minato nodded as well. "Thank you, Hiruzen. I have a duty now. I'm going to put my son back together. Isn't that right, Kushina?" As Kushina nodded as well. "Hi, we are, honey." Now their friends were worried even more. Two of the strongest shinobi at current time, the Yellow Flash and the Red Death, both broken at the loss of their son, who was taken from them too early, and by a madman. Heck, even if they wanted to take a revenge, they knew now nobody could stop them. But that isn't what Minato wanted. He wanted to build his son, as he said. So his son was broken, he had to put him back together. So, for the next year, both Minato and Kushina started to go around the world, gathering chakra metal and some of the seals from Uzushiyogakure's ruin, taking Menma with them, who was also sad at the loss of his brother. He was given into hatred of Kyuubi. But he stopped by his parents, as they put him out of the hatred. He was too also engrossed into building back his brother. Turns out he was a prodigy in Fuinjutsu as well. Their parents started to train him as well, paranoid that he might as well be taken from them as Naruto was. As a year has already been passed since then. and the family was nowhere to be seen. They were outside of Konoha, inside Uchiha. As we go to Uchiha, there was a single room/laboratory. Inside it resided the Uzumaki Namikaze family, as we see a metallic body of a 10-year-old boy or so, with blonde hair and blue eyes. As Minato powered a Rasengan in his hand, this will act as a core. It is pure chakra. It has taken 2-3 years of my life to build this Rasengan for my lifespan. As Kushin added some of her own. Menma wanted to add his own, but he was stopped by his parents. No, Menma. If something goes wrong, then you are in charge of putting back Naruto together. Hi, I will do so. Inside Kyuubi's mind, inside Menma's mindscape, Kyuubi was quite shocked at this. This little boy was engulfed with sadness, not hatred now. And, well, Kyuubi wanted to help this boy because he now understood what his father meant. Not every human was the same. And this child was innocent. He didn't do anything wrong to him. He didn't even ask to be his Jinchuriki. As much as Kyuubi wanted his freedom, he didn't want to hurt an innocent soul now. It will be going against his father's morals. So, he started to help Menma, healing his wounded heart that was wounded at the death of his brother. As both of the parents put the Rasengan inside Naruto's core, as the core started to channel its energy inside Naruto's new body made out of metal, as through drops of blood that was extracted from his shirt were put into the core as well, carrying Naruto's DNA, and not only that, his whole memories and all stuff in them as well. The core turned a little bit red after that, before turning pure white, representing innocence at the time, as the body of metallic animatronic shut completely before they plugged in the wires into him and channeled electricity, Raiton chakra mainly, gathered by Kakashi and some of their other friends along the way, as the chakra went inside of Naruto's body, making his chakra core awaken again. Artificial chakra core that was built by them with the help of Orochimaru and Tsunade along the way. As there was a shock circuit after some anticipation, the lights turned dim as the parents frowned. It should be working now. Naruto should wake up, honey, Kushina said. I know, just give it time. And suddenly, two bright blue eyes opened, mechanical eyes, before they closed and opened again. As the wires dropped the body down to the ground, as Naruto started to get up on his own, but he, well, couldn't. It was kind of hard to adjust to his body again. Dad? Said the voice inside his mouth. It was their son's voice again, as the parents felt tears inside their eyes. Mom, what is going on? Is Menma okay? This was his first question, as Menma openly cried. Even after so long, even after facing death, his brother's first question was, is he okay? Hi, Nisan. I'm fine. Thank you for protecting me. As the three of the family members rushed towards the robot turned boy and hugged him, as Naruto hugged them back, laughing a little bit. It's okay, guys. Why are you worried? I know I was, well, wounded and all. Hey, Dad, is the man captured? As both of the parents looked towards each other, as they sighed and looked towards Naruto and showed him towards the mirror. Naruto was shocked at what he saw. He was made out of metal. Dad, what is wrong with my skin? Naruto, you died with him. Then how come I'm here, Dad? You see, with the help of your blood samples and making a deal out of Shinigami, we extracted your soul and made a core and artificial chakra system. And after powering it with Raiton chakra and a Rasengan made from our lifespan, we awakened this body and then put your soul and blood samples into it, giving you your memories and soul. Even if your skin is turned out of metal, you are still Naruto, our son. But Dad, even if I died, you didn't have to do that. You could have raised Menma. I know, son, but you left a void in our heart. We couldn't replace you with anyone else. You were our firstborn son. the one who fills our void of loneliness. How could we replace you? But isn't it what you did? You replaced me with a metal body. Look at me. I am nothing but a robot, a toy who can be broken again, Dad. Naruto said, a little bit sad. No, Naruto, you're not. You're our son, and you're back. And we'll be damned if anything else happens to you. We will train you hard until we return to the village. In 3 years, you will be trained hard. Menma has already started. He's already a Chunin level Taijutsu master alongside with Fuinjutsu level 8. Wow, Menma, you studied hard. You even surpassed me. Naruto chuckled as Menma then said, you will be able to become strong as me, Nissan, or heck even surpass me in due time. You shouldn't worry about that. You just have to get used to your new body, that's all. As Naruto hugged his family and said, thank you for giving me another chance, Tochan, Kachan, Menma, you as well. Thank you all. I promise I will become what you will be proud of. As their family smiled. And 3 years passed like a flow of time since then, as Naruto was trained aside with Menma and Genjutsu, Taijutsu, and many other stuff. Naruto's chakra pool, or artificial chakra pool, was growing strong, as was his body. He was quite surprised by this. Turns out it was because of seals that was placed on his chakra metal. And Naruto was quite surprised to find out in his new body a lot of stuff. For one, he can turn his hands into cannons and blast what seemed like pure chakra beams out of them at cost of nothing, and he can fly as well by turning his metallic feet into rockets. As Naruto was quite happy with that, as he played with Menma once again, and Menma was more than happy to comply. Even at the age of 10, he loved playing with his older brother, because he already knew what it felt like losing his brother for a year or so. It was like part of him was stripped out of him, and he wanted that back. And surprisingly, this Mecha Naruto brought it back with him, even if his brother was made out of metal and all, put together piece by piece by his parents. In the end, he possessed the soul of his brother. His brother was back with them. And it was time for them to return back to Konoha Gakure no Sato to pass the Genin exams and enter as Genin together. And well, when they were walking back, Naruto was quite shy as he wore a dark robe and hooded robe over his whole body and head. As Menma chuckled at that, Nissan, why are you so worried? Nobody's going to judge you. I'm worried, Menma. They might get scared of me. I mean, I'm made out of metal and all. It will be quite, freaky for them. As both Kushin and Minato frowned, Naruto, whoever says that to you, there will be hell to pay for him. That is why I'm worried. They don't know, Dad, that I'm a robot now. And people tend to scare what they don't understand. As Naruto over the years has grown very maturely, and sometimes he was more mature than his parents even. As his parents said, you're right, Naruto, but you eventually have to pull down the robe and reveal your whole status to the village as a robot and our son. Before a robot, you're our son, you know that, and everyone has to give you respect as such. Naruto, after hearing these words, groaned, Dad, I want to make a name for myself. Not just because of you, I want to earn their respect. As both of their parents smiled pridefully at their son. And the other boy chuckled, well, I will follow you as well, Nissan. Wherever you go, I'll follow. Believe it, we're brothers and everything we do, we'll do it together. Yeah, Naruto said, a little bit creeped out by that comment, but reluctantly they went inside their village. As soon as they passed, the villager eternal guards became happy. Welcome Hokage-sama back to the village. You too, Kushina-sama. And they were surprised to see two figures. Hello, Kotetsu, Izumu. It's quite a while since I last saw you. They both froze when they heard this voice. Naruto? Is that you? Yeah, who else? You're funny, Naruto said. As Menma then also said, yeah, you're very funny. as he glared at both of them, his eyes turning red with slits as both of them were now shitting their pants completely and sweating bullets. As his family walked, Menma stopped. "If you ever try to say something freaky about my brother, I will unleash the Cubist chakra onto you. Get it?" As both of them nodded, shaking their heads violently. "Good." Before his eyes turned blue as he jumped and skipped back to his family. And after getting a few looks at the hooded figure, which was Naruto became embarrassed and a little bit scared at what was their reaction going to be. And soon enough, they entered inside the Hokage tower. As they knocked at the Hokage door. "Come in," Naruto heard a voice that he hadn't heard in a long time. As the door was opened, they all went inside. On the other side, Hiruzen was quite surprised to see 4 figures standing there. Naruto? "Hey, Didi," he heard a voice, as tears started to well up in his eyes. As he got up from his, chair and rushed towards the boy to hug him. But as he did, he felt coldness, not the warmness that he thought he would feel. "Naruto, what happened? Why do you feel so cold?" As Naruto pulled down his robe, and Hiruzen was surprised to see a metallic face instead of the boy he thought would be there. "Hey, Didi, it's nice to see you." "Naruto, you look different." "Yeah, I know, Didi. It turns out my parent built this body out of chakra metal and built an artificial chakra system with the help of Tsunade-sama. And not only that, Orochimaru's helped somewhat as well in getting my DNA and my soul from Shinigami-sama." "You mean your soul is inside?" "Yeah, as much as it is scary, but I'm still here, and I'm happy to be here. Hope you don't mind." "No, not at all, Naruto. What do you mean by that? I am more than happy that you're here, even if it in this state. And truth to be told, you look quite cool as that. Is it the right word I used?" he said, looking towards Minato and Menma. "Yeah, old friend," Minato said as Menma chuckled. "Yeah, Didi, you said the right word. Cool." As Naruto then said, "I'm cool?" "Yeah, you are, Naruto," said Menma. "Well, anyway, it's good to see you back, all of you," Hiruzen said with a smile on his face, as Minato and Kushina smiled warmly at that. "So I suppose that you're taking back your seat?" "Yeah, we will do that in next week," as Hiruzen groaned. "Come on, take your seat back, Minato. I said 1 year and it's been 4 years already. And not only that, how can you deal with such paperwork? In my time, it wasn't that bad. Or maybe I've grown old." As Naruto chuckled at that. "Yeah, Gigi, you've grown old." "Anyways, have you tried using the Shadow Clone Jutsu? It might work out." As Hiruzen stood there frozen. "I think you broke him, Naruto," said Minato, chuckling. "Is this true? What Naruto said is true, Minato?" he said. "Yes." And without a second thought, he made some hand seals and bit his thumb. "Gyotsusei no Jutsu," as Monkey King Enma arrived. "Enma, turn into staff, please." Why?" "Just please do it." Fine," as Enma turned into staff. As Hiruzen grabbed the staff and bonked it hard on Minato's head. As Minato grabbed his hard head and was now rolling on the ground in pain, wincing. "What the hell is wrong with you, Hiruzen? What was that for?" "You monster. You could have told me that before you left." "No. You didn't even bother to send me a letter to how to deal with this paperwork. You knew. I can't believe you knew and yet you didn't tell me." As Kushina chuckled. "It was my idea, Didi. And plus, you gotta say that it was quite funny." And she was too bonked on the head as she too rolled on the floor, grabbing her head, clutching in pain. As Minato and Kushina were now rolling, Menma and Naruto laughed. We didn't know, promise. I just thought about it." Good." As Enma went back in a puff of smoke as he hugged both of them. "Well, it's good to see you kids back." As he made shadow clones, and one of them went back to do paperwork. As he grabbed 2 scrolls and gave it to them. "Just deliver this to your academy instructor in room 8. His name is Iruka Umino, and he will let you in on the test. Now hurry along, the test will be beginning in 1 hour, at 9 AM sharp." "Oh yeah, sorry about that, Didi." As Naruto pulled his hood up and went, "Naruto, why are you wearing a hood now?" Didi, I'm scared what might the people think of me now. You see, I'm different than before. Naruto, no matter how much different you look now from before, we all love you. From who you are, not the way you look. As Naruto then smiled inwardly, even if his metallic face couldn't show it. Thanks, Didi. That really means a lot to me. As both of the brothers went out of the office as he saw it. Minato, Kushina, you did a fine job raising both those boys. I'm quite surprised, Hiruzen. I thought you might, be up against this. You know the whole process. Oh, I am against that. Making a deal with Shinigami-sama and getting Naruto's soul back. I don't even want to know how you did. Don't worry, we didn't use any innocent. We only captured the Nukenins, and aside from delivering them to the bounty, we sacrificed their souls to Shinigami-sama. And, he gave our son's soul back to us. How many did he have to sacrifice? 50. 50 for his innocent soul. And Shinigami-sama said something about discount. We were quite surprised by that. We didn't knew that the God of the Dead could do that. Neither did I. Well, anyway, it's good to see him back, and he looks like he's taken the news very well about him being a robot. Yeah, at first he was against it, but he got better in the time. And, now it doesn't bother him, but he still is very, sensitive about what other people thinks about him and his new appearance. I get it. As on to the other side, both siblings were walking towards the academy. As they entered it, went towards the room 8 and knocked on it. As it was opened by a teacher with a ponytail and a scar on his face. Yes, as Menma delivered both of the scrolls for the brothers. As both of them entered inside. Oh, I see. It's good to have you back, Uzumaki Namikaze Menma. And Naruto? He said with a raised eyebrow. He, alongside everyone in the Shinobi Corps, heard that the elder son of the Hokage has passed away. As Naruto put his hood down in front of everyone, as they all gasped, even the teacher. Hello everyone. I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the oldest son of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. Hope we can get along, he said. As everyone was surprised, as Ino was the first one who said, You're made out of metal. You look like a robot. As Kiba then said, cool. As Sasuke, who was looking at Naruto, also said, you look cool. I have to admit, he said, somewhat like an Uchiha in manner. As Sakura then said, how are you supposed to, be working like that? It's quite interesting. Hey, do you mind if you, come with me so I can study you in detail? As Menma then said, no, he minds, and he will not be going with anyone here. Sorry about that. My name is Menma Uzumaki, and what he said, I follow. I see. You can sit there, Iruka said after getting out of shock, as both brothers went to the farthest seat near the window. As Hinata watched Naruto with shock and sadness in her eyes. She always liked Naruto before that accident. But now, it was different. After seeing him like that, she blushed a bit, but she was sad after seeing him in such state. And thinking that it wasn't her Naruto that died that day. And after the whole class went, it was time for their break, as both of the brothers were sitting inside the backyard, as Menma was eating his lunch. Now Naruto didn't eat anything, or, digested anything. He just recharged 1 hour, and after recharging for 1 hour, he could go on for a week. As Naruto was just sitting there. Oh man, I sure miss ramen. As Menma just chuckled, teasing his brother. Oh, you could always try that. We can build in a mouth and digestive system at all if you want us to. And I bet Tsunade-bachan will be more than ready to do that. Menma, that is disgusting when you talk it about like that. Plus, I'm happy the way I am. Yeah, we're as well, Menma said, as both of the brothers were now silent, enjoying peace, until it was broken by their classmates as all of them gathered around the brothers, mainly the Konoha 11, consisting of Sakura, Ino, Tenten, Neji, and others. As Neji was quite surprised by his, well, cousin's classmate who turned out to be a robot, and the rumor spread around the school as Naruto was being looked by everyone. As Tenten said, "How much weapons do you have?" "Huh? What?" Naruto asked. "I mean to ask, how much weapons do you possess in your body?" "Oh, I can turn my hands into chakra cannons." "Cool, can you show us?" As Naruto turned his hand into a cannon, as a giant hole opened, as some of his hand turned back and forming a cannon, as Naruto pointed it at a tree and blasted a huge chakra beam, as after the beam died down, there was nothing left of the tree. "See?" As everyone had their jaw drops. "Cool," said Kiba. "Where can I get that?" You might have to die for that." "Oh, so the news is true, you died," said none other than Hinata. She was quite mad. "And you're just an imposter of Naruto-kun." "No, I'm not." As Menma then came up to his brother's defense. "No, he's not. He's telling the truth." "How so?" "We built his body, yes, but the soul inside of him is true." "Soul?" "Yeah, we got his soul back from Shinigami-sama. I'm not going to go into details how, but we made a deal. Shinigami-sama gave his soul back to us, and that is how he's alive and able to remember who he is. Even though we have to give him some of his blood to give him the DNA and his memories." "I see," said Hinata. "Do you remember me, Naruto?" "Hinata-chan, wow, you've grown up since the last time I saw you." "And you look wonderful." She blushed after hearing that comment. You see, Naruto was the first one that helped her from the bullies in the snowy night when she got lost. Naruto was also having a fight with his family at the time, and he rushed outside and helped her. From then on, Hinata always had a crush on Naruto, even though Naruto was 3 years of age and she was, at the age of 2, a toddler, as per must say, but she still loved Naruto from then on. As Hinata fainted after that. Hinata-chan, are you okay?" As Neji then said, I do say that the fate may have been cruel on you and took away your life, but it is quite surprising to say that you defied fate. Or is it your fate to come back from death?" "Wow, that is a lot of usage of the word fate." As Tenten groaned, "Don't bother with him. He's hell-bent on fate this and fate that. We tried to get him out of this, but he doesn't want to." "Oh, I see," Naruto said. And such time passed in the academy, and after that the test came. And after the break, And they did their test, and it was already noon when the test completed. And many of the shinobis were there. Yes, shinobis. In goes the student and come out a shinobi, a genin of Konoha Gakure no Sato. And this year's passing rate was 66%, which was quite surprising for everyone, as the clan had children all passed, alongside one civilian student only. Her name was Sakura Haruno. And Menma and Naruto passed as well into the council chambers, where they were discussing the teammates, as their teacher let them go home for the day with their headbands. "I see, Minato, you have returned." "And Kushina as well," said Danzo, getting the attention of the couple as their eyes narrowed. "And it seems that you brought an interesting invention. He is our son, not an invention." "I see." As the door was heard of knocking. "Come in," said Minato, as Ananbu and their son, still hooded cover, came inside. "Dad, why did you call for me?" "He didn't, I did," Danzo said. "And who gave you the permission?" Hiruzen said, alongside with Minato. "We have to see how the boy looks like. I know that he is made out of chakra metal, his body is, but we have to see what you did." So I told him to be brought here. As unknown to him, the dragon commander of Anbu was also watching from the shadows. He didn't want to miss this, the invention of his friend, Minato Namikaze, his son. As Minato sighed and said, "Naruto, you can drop the hood." "Okay. But before that, please everyone, don't freak out," he said, as everyone chuckled at that. He still was a kid, even though he was different. As the hood dropped down, everyone was shocked and gasped at what they saw. Hello? I hope you remember me. I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze," he said, acting like the original Naruto as he rubbed the back of his head. artificial hair, like similar to the way that Naruto did. How is he able to copy every Naruto step? He is original Naruto, the soul inside of him at least. He's our son. As everyone was more surprised than that. And Naruto had to hear how he was born again into this world, which was quite freaky and somewhat disturbing in his, well, thoughts. And after the whole story was told by Minato and Kushina, the whole council room was surprised by this. Can you give us the blueprint so that we can too build some of our own? Danzo said, no. It was a one-time deal, and it will only work with a soul of only a pure person, as per Shinigami-sama said. Not your drones, Danzo. As his plan had failed to get a super soldier army. But then he thought, why don't he get Naruto as his own? I demand that Hokage-sama hand over this spot to us, as he is now the property of Konoha Gakure Nasada. Danzo, Tsunade said, as she then walked inside with Jiraiya. You have no right saying this. As surprisingly Orochimaru appeared, saying this. Orochimaru, as everyone was now tense. As he chuckled, no, you are not going to harm me, as I am under protection of Hokage-sama over there, he said. And I'm back on active duty on Konoha, and surprisingly to look after Naruto-kun as well. He said, surprising everyone. What do you mean? Well, can't you see? He's what I yearn to achieve, immortality. Even though he's inside a metallic body, he is immortal. He can live forever if he wants to. Isn't that right, Naruto? Hello, Orochi uncle. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you too, my boy, said Orochimaru, as everyone was surprised that Orochimaru was close to someone, and it was his rival's son. How the heck that was supposed to work? As Hiruzen then said, it's good to have you back, Orochimaru, but you do know that you have to pay for your crimes by staying inside the prison. I already forgave him, said Minato, but he will be on probation, as his chakra will be sealed off for 1 year. I don't mind, as long as I can study Naruto closely. See, I am trying to build on my own son, so that he can live forever without the threat of dying or being corrupted. It'll be a long time before that happens, but that is why I'm here. Plus, I helped build Naruto-kun's new body, and he is the best of my test subjects that I had. And now I know the answer to my question. My journey has been fulfilled. Now I need to build a body for my own self, a metallic one, in which I can send my soul and live forever. He said while smiling, sorry about my tongue slip, it's just that, I don't know, my tongue hurts a lot. Anyway, on to our story. As everyone gasped at that, as Danzo then said, can you build one for me as well? No, Danzo. As everyone was surprised by this, more so even Danzo. Why? He asked, a little bit feeling betrayed by the one who he was supposed to call his partner. Well, Danzo, you see, I know what you're planning, and I don't like that one bit. We want your root gone alongside with you. And if I give you that body, the body of an immortal, then God knows what you will do. Your root will live forever, and that is something that I don't want in this world. Not at least for my son. He thought in his head, as Jiraiya then said, what's up, Gaki? Edo-sanin, it's good to have you back, as Jiraiya face vaulted as both of the Sanins chuckled. Oh, come on, Gaki, stop with that name already. Well, it does suit you. When you stop writing the smutty books, I'll stop calling you that. On to the other side, in the Dragon Commander eyes, as he was thinking, wow, that boy, or robot, can be a lot stronger if he's trained properly. I will try to convince Minato to let him join Anbu, to see how strong he is and how durable he is. And maybe he can become our strongest Anbu ever, and I can finally pass on my dragon title to him. As then many of the leaders then stood up and walked towards Naruto, putting a hand on him. It's good to have you back, son, Inoichi said. Yes, Naruto-san, it's good to have you back. Have you met with Hinata? Yes, I met with her, I hope she's happy and in good health. I remember that the second child of you was about to be born as Hiyashi face turned solar. She passed away, Naruto, after the birth of my second daughter, Hanabi. Oh, I see. I'm sorry for your loss, Naruto said, as Hiyashi nodded his head. Thank you. Thank you for your words. As he walked away, still a little bit sad that his wife was gone, but hopeful that he might find a way to bring her back. But is it what his wife wanted? He had a deep thinking to do. As time went by and everyone accepted Naruto, and heck, even the population of Konoha was surprised to see him like that, but were happy that their leader's son was back, and the news also spread throughout the elemental nation through the spies. And Iwagakure was more than terrified of this news, because what they heard was that the fourth Hokage was broken alongside the Red Death at the death of their son by the hands of their new clan shinobi, and they were quite celebrating about that as well. But they were terrified as well, mainly Oniki and his family, because they knew about the broken shinobi stuff. But after the news spread that they built a super shinobi made out of metal, and that one was their son, they were not fearful. Why? What if their son tried to get revenge on them for his life? And there's nothing that they can do to stop him. He can absorb jutsu for what they heard. Or it is a rumor that is started by everyone. On to the other side, Dragon had convinced Minato to let Naruto join in him and not into the regular shinobi teams. And surprisingly, Naruto wanted to join Anbu. He wanted to become the strongest shinobi that can, protect his village from the shadows. His brother's dream was to become Hokage anyways, not his. And, he joined the Anbu and became apprentice of none other than Dragon himself. Dragon put Naruto through hell of tough training and a lot of torture. But Naruto didn't felt anything because his body was made out of metal and there were no pain receptors in his body. And Naruto became more efficient, more silent, and more vigilant. He could see in night clearly and can zone in on any enemy as well. One look and his chakra can detect anything. His sensory was so on point that he could tell the age, the blood type, everything, even the little bit of details after seeing at a person. His eyes were more like dojutsus now, but much more powerful than anything. And he was sent on some of the assassination missions as well, mainly in the land of Wei, where he was hailed as the new hero. His code name was Iron. Quite surprisingly, and ironically Iron, a blank Anbu face mask made out of metal. He was called Iron Shinobi as well. And when he told this to the Tazuna, the leader of the village, they laughed at him, at his face. Naruto sweat dropped and told him that he was not joking and it was his real name. After that, when Naruto returned, he found out that the Uchiha's clan here, Itachi, had betrayed their clan to join an Akatsuki, a group formed out of S-rank mutants. And surprisingly, Naruto heard from, none other than Dragon that Itachi willingly joined them. Why? Because he wanted to spy on them for what they might have heard the news that the Akatsuki might be planning something big, and Itachi wanted to know what. So he sacrificed his whole image, ruined in front of the whole village, to keep the village safe. As Naruto nodded solemnly at what his senpai had did, and his respect for his senpai increased already. Time went on and the Akatsuki started to make their move towards Biju after the Chunin exams, which Naruto protected from Suna, as they on their own decided to attack Konoha because Orochimaru didn't want it to do that. With the help of the three Sanins and Naruto being there, Naruto wiped out their whole army with a single blast of his chakra cannon, which caused terror amongst the Suna shinobi as they retreated. Naruto even beat down on the Shikaku and defeated him single-handedly without any Biju, and he was now already ranked as S+ shinobi inside the bingo books of Suna, and soon the bingo books traveled throughout the elemental nations, showing the threat to everyone. Kumo was shocked and were now, shaken to their core by this revelation. A shinobi, such strong and, at such caliber, was something that they feared. And Iwa was now shitting his pants literally at what they heard. On to the other side, Akatsuki was quite surprised and wanted to recruit Naruto, but knew that he had a brother who was a Jinchuriki and he loved him to death. And plus, they were Uzumaki's family above everything else, so yeah, that was a big no. They didn't want to get disintegrated into nothingness. As much as Pain was arrogant, he also didn't want an animatronic shinobi on his back who can come back even after death, again and again and again. The other side, back inside Konohagakure. After the plan to crush Konoha was crushed at the hand of Konoha, when their enemies retreated back after 1 month of recovering from the minor damages and the loss of one shinobi, Hayatagako, mourning for him, it was time for those who showed their skills in the assessment of Chunin exams to be graduated from Genin level to Chunins. Sasuke and Shikamaru were now Jonin while the rest of them were Chunin. Menma also as well showed much skills and a lot of leadership ability, so he was promoted to Jonin as well. And well, Naruto was also promoted to Jonin but on Anbu standards, and he was now the new dragon, known as the Iron Dragon of Anbu, the highest in command and the leader of the whole Anbu squadron, as the previous dragon finally retired. Showing his face as Naruto was quite surprised at what he saw. It was none other than Jiraiya who was dragon. Naruto then asked, how the hell is that supposed to be possible? As Jiraiya then said, blood clone, as he split his consciousness into half, his darker half being made out of dragon while his goofiness was made out of Jiraiya himself. As dragon poofed into the blood clone smoke as the memories came back to Jiraiya as he grabbed his head. Damn it, remind me to never use that again. I used that for what? 30 plus years? Yes, Jiraiya, for that much. What do you expect from 30 years worth of memories? Ugh, nothing else, Sensei. Nothing else. So you mean to say you split your personalities in half? Orochimaru asked. Yeah. What do you want, Teme? Give me a break. Snorri then bonked him on the head. This is what you get, Baka. You do know that it would have been quite dangerous. What if you became two different persons? Well, I was living two different lives, so yeah, it's quite hard to adjust back to being one as a whole. And time went by as Naruto chuckled. Being the new dragon, he was quite surprised. He had to spend a little bit time doing the paperwork and was now in more action. He took many of the Anbu squadrons to many of the spying missions and assassination mission, which he led as well. He took down many threats against Konoha. He also started to hunt down the Akatsuki because from Jiraiya's report it was heard that the Akatsuki are going to go after, well, Jinchurikis. And well, when Akatsuki made their first move after none other than Suna, Naruto helped them, as he then made friends with Gaara after rescuing him. And when Suna asked why were they rescuing him even if there was no treaty between them, Naruto just smiled and chuckled and said Gaara reminded him of his brother, what he could have been turned into if his parents died or if he wasn't born. As they all nodded at that and his theory. And well, when it was revealed that the one who crushed their souls almost was the one who saved them, they were quite happy and turned a new leaf and joined again alliance with the Leaf Village, under the impression that Naruto will be the Hokage in future. But when it was revealed that he was a dragon, Anbu, the second strongest against the Hokage, but surprisingly Naruto was the strongest, even surpassing his family and rivaling the power of the Shodai Hokage, if one must say, as but Hiruzen said. They were quite surprised by this. And well, the new Kazekage, mainly Gaara, was quite happy with the new friendship. And, well, wholeheartedly accepted that he will form an alliance again. After Deidara and Sasori were killed off by him, the news spread that he killed two S-rank Nuknins, and Akatsuki wasn't happy about that. So, they went full on towards Konoha, trying to destroy whatever he held dear. Pain didn't bother with it anymore. He wanted to crush Naruto to the lowest point before he killed him again by sucking his soul out of his metallic body. As Naruto and his team returned, they found Konoha in rubbles. Naruto's eyes turned red, completely red, showing that he was enraged. Before he formed thrusters in his boots for the second time and jumped in air. His sensory skills at max, he sensed enemies and formed a giant beam of chakra blast and shot them at the enemies, disintegrating the immortals into nothingness. Kakuzu and Hidan were no more, disintegrated completely as he jumped down, as Pain was facing him, alongside his other 6 bots, and Konan as well. "You will pay for what you have done," Naruto said, as he then jumped into the air, leaping at high speeds, his hands turning into 2 chainsaws made out of seals, as seals glow red. "Chainsaws of chaos," as Naruto said, as chainsaws detached from his body, as 2 chains erupted behind them, as Naruto swung the chainsaws. As Pain was quite surprised, as his paws were ripped or shredded completely into 4 pieces by the chainsaws, as it was none other than the healing path, which was cut off completely, as it turned back to a corpse. As Pain was now in a pinch, he knew that he couldn't heal again, and his path was destroyed with complete ease, as he said, "Shinra Tensei," as Naruto's chainsaw were now back attached to his body, as he was shoved back. As Naruto fought with other Pains violently, he was then suddenly forgetting about one path of Pain, which was the Tendo path, the Yahiko path, as he said, "Universal pull," as Naruto was pulled in front of him, as he grabbed Naruto in a chokehold and shoved him down to the ground and stabbed chakra rods onto him, as Naruto didn't felt pain, but he was stuck. "Damn it, I can't move." As out of nowhere, Hinata jumped down in front of Naruto. "Hinata, what are you doing? Get out of here!" "No, Naruto. I will protect you, even if at the cost of my life." "Why? Just go! I can be rebuilt again." "You can't. You die, there's no coming back." "I know. And that is why I want to do this, because I love you, Naruto." As Naruto's metallic eyes turned from red to blue again. "What?" "Yes, I love you." Before she formed 2 hand lines and started to battle with Pain, but Pain was easily overpowering her, and Hinata started to lose blood, as she was able to detach 2 of the chakra rods from Naruto's legs and 1 arm, as only 1 arm was left, which Naruto was trying to yank the rod out of him. As he said, "Hinata, get out, I can fight now, please." "No, Naruto, you need to recover. Just leave him to me." As Naruto's battery was already low, drained by the chakra rods, it was surprisingly low to 20%. Battery low. Warning came in Naruto's eyes. "I don't care, I have to fight." As Naruto yanked the chakra rod out, but he was surprised by the sound of piercing, as he turned around shakingly. His metallic eyes widened as what he saw. "Hinata?" As he saw blood, he came into shock before his eyes turned red, complete red, as a new armor came on top of him, engaging complete battle mode. As Naruto didn't know what to do, he moved on his instincts and crushed Pain by grabbing him by the skull and throwing him so far that his body went through 8 mountains that were near Konoha. As Naruto appeared in front of him, as he said, joining his hand together, "Chakra Beam Blast!" And a giant blast was formed, similar to that of Goku's Kamehameha, and what looks like Pain's body was disintegrated, as Pain was then poofed and a new Pain came into existence. It was a shadow clone that he replaced in mere time. "I have to do that now," as he formed a black orb, Chibaku Tensei, as a giant crater started to form on Earth, as a giant bowl, meteor-sized, was formed in the sky, as Naruto was in that. As Pain smirked, "You're out of the way, Uzumaki." But before he could go and grab Menma, who was unconscious now due to the sudden shock alongside his parents, a boom blast was heard, as the whole Chibaku Tensei was erupted into million crater bits, as Naruto flew down towards Pain, as his hand turned into a giant chainsaw. "Chainsaw, slash!" Naruto said, as he slashed straight through, drilling through Pain's stomach, as Pain fell to the ground. As Naruto scanned the whole area and found an odd tree. "There you are," Naruto said, as he flew towards the giant tree, ripping the tree open, as he saw inside there was Konan and Pain standing, as Konoha made her way towards Naruto, as Naruto with his chainsaw ripped her arm apart and held her at what seemed to be a beam point or a gun point, as his beam was near her face. Revive everyone. Undo what you did, that she may live. Why do you go against me? Can't you see that what I'm doing is for us to live in peace? You call this peace? Heck, then I will live rather in a war-torn world than this such peace. Can't you see that? This is not peace, this is just violence. Meaningless violence that you're creating, chaos everywhere. Taking away those who have already suffered at the hand of humanity. What kind of peace is that? What do you mean by that? Oh, don't tell me you forgot how Jinchuki's lives are. And the Gara kid from Suna is the complete example of it. They turned psycho. They are hated by their own family. But I'm glad that my brother wasn't as such, but I do feel pity for those who have been through such life and just to get what? At the end they die? And none of them were there. None of the people from their villages to save them? Isn't it bad already that you hurt them till their dying breath? Just to add salt to their wounds? As Pain sighed and said, You know that is true, but their sacrifice must be done so that the world might come at peace. And how so? Please tell me your plan. As Pain began to explain the infant Tsukiyomi in that, as Naruto laughed. A hollow laugh. Now tell me this, you dipshit. As Pain was quite mad about that, but listened to Naruto, as did Konan. How the hell are you supposed to work that jutsu for that long? When the whole chakra at one point will be exhausted from earth, and then it will absorb chakra automatically from those who are trapped in it. And let's just suppose that is what it did. Then guess what will happen? As then Zetsu appeared and stabbed Pain from behind. As Konan and Naruto's eyes widened. Then my mother will be freed. You killed every one of the Akatsuki, Uzumaki, and that Madara's puppet as well. Obito, yes. He goes by the name Tobi now, but I forgot his name. Now that I remember, Obito. You killed him as well. He was a nice puppet who wholeheartedly believed in my every word. You took everything away from me, but my mother will be revived. As before he could talk or yap about his mother anymore, his face was blasted into bits. Shut up. You talk too much, Naruto said, as Zetsu's whole body splashed to the ground, as Naruto disintegrated him by causing him to burn with his chakra blast beam. As he rushed towards Nagato, see? You were just betrayed by your teammate. And for what? To revive his mother? A goddess who is mad enough to eat away all the chakra of this world? Is this what you want? For a piece? I'm sorry. I guess I lost my path since my friend died. We all have lost someone in our life. My family lost me when I was 7, and that is how they built me like this. You could have tried to revive him with your Rinnegan ability, as Nagato's eyes widened. Why didn't he think of that? As Yahiko's body was now laying in front of them, as Naruto carried him there, alongside the rest of the pods, and Konan's eyes widened as well. Why didn't we try that, Nagato? I don't know. As he knew what he had to do, Konan, please forgive me and tell Yahiko that I was sorry. I lost my path, but I was able to find it back with the help of another Uzumaki. Thanks, cousin. You're welcome, cousin. But what are you going to do? You need medical attention, Naruto said. Even after everything I did, you want to save me. Thank you, Naruto. Thank you, cousin, for showing me that for an Uzumaki, no matter what their family did, the family member always comes first, he said. But these two are my family as well, and so are you. And this is my last gift to everyone. Please destroy my Rinnegan. It shouldn't be let to fall in anyone else's hand. Naruto, that is all I ask. What are you going to do? Naruto said. As Pain then said, what should have been done in the first place, as he slammed his hand together, as he called out, summoning Jutsu, King of Hell. As Konan's eyes were, Nagato, please Konan, stop. As Konan just froze there, tears started to well up in her eyes. As he silently prayed to the King of Hell to release every soul alongside with Yahiko at the cost of his. And Surprisingly, the balance matched because of the crimes he had committed, and the deal was made. Everyone's soul, alongside with Yahiko's soul, was released as a bright light came from the King of Hell's mouth to their place and was engulfed by both Yahiko's body as Pain's hair started to turn white, and so did his eyes and skin as he died. Thank you for showing me my way. As Nagato passed away, Naruto with tears in his eyes. Tears. It was quite surprising that he still had that emotion, but he didn't think of that. Maybe it was water that gathered on his metallic face. He didn't know, but it resembled how his soul was feeling, crying at the loss of his cousin, another family member that could have been salvaged. But he died like a hero, a respectful, honorable death for Nuzumaki. As he grabbed his eyes by looking away and crushed them with his hands. As Conan nodded at that, "You did good. You fulfilled his wishes." "I think I couldn't." As they heard groaning sound. "Oh man, it hurts like a bitch to be stabbed by a kunai," said another voice as they turned around as Conan gasped, "Yahiko?" As the grown-up Yahiko looked towards the girl in front of him. "Conan? Wow, you look, wonderful." As Conan blushed, as Yahiko stood up and said, "Hey, you look like me, but more awesome. And metallic." "Yeah, I get that a lot. It's good to have you back, Yahiko. Do we know each other?" "No, I'm Nagato's cousin." "Oh, I see. How's he doing?" As his eyes fall on Nagato. Nagato? What happened to him?" "He sacrificed his life to bring you back. With everyone he killed." "He killed?" "It's a long story, Yahiko. I will tell you later. We have to leave now." "Yes, both of you should get out of here and live somewhere secluded for an year or two, so the heat on you two died down or so. I will tell them that you all died. After I leave, I will blow this up. Take his body away. I'll form 3 shadow clones and hand them into you and disintegrate them, so everyone will think that you all 3 died." As they nodded, "Thank you." As Yahiko had tears in his eyes. "You baka," he said, as he grabbed his friend's body in bridal style as both of them left, as Naruto did as he said, and well, destroyed the whole tree. As he returned, his battery was now completely low. Warning, battery 0, shutting down systems in 30 seconds. "Come on, almost there," Naruto said, as his battery gave up as soon as he reached Konoha's gate. The last thing he saw was his family rushing towards him. As his mind drifted to the one girl who sacrificed her life so he could live on, and confessed her love for him. Hinata, he thought before he passed out completely. After 1 week, he woke up at his charging booth, where he usually charged himself once a week. As it was that his body was damaged quite a bit at the battle, and it took a week to repair them. As Naruto got up, "It looks like I'm back home." "Yes, you are, son," said his mother sternly as Naruto looked at her. "I'm sorry, Kachan. Deactivate your battle armor mode. It drains your battery quickly. That is why your battery died faster than it used to be." "Oh, I see. And why didn't you tell me that I have a battle ready mode installed in me? You already became so strong at your basic mode that we didn't bother to tell you. And it was already in a life and death situation that this mode will be activated. And now you know about it and you can activate it at will. But you need a battery for it because we didn't install any extensive battery for the usage of that mode for so long. We'll talk about that later." As his mind drifted into his own thoughts, thought about the girl again, Hinata. He thought again, as his mother got him out of his stupor. "What are you thinking about, son?" As Naruto told the whole story about Hinata. "I see. It's quite sad." As Naruto just stood there silently. "Naruto, what are you thinking?" As her eyes widened, as realization dawned on her. "Naruto, you couldn't be possibly thinking about what I think you are." As Naruto then said, with his head nodding, saying nothing else. Yes, Mom, that is what I'm going to do. It is the only way I can live with her. I found my life partner and she died protecting me. It's the last thing I do. I will do it. And surprisingly enough, Hinata's soul couldn't return to her body because her body was destroyed completely beyond repair or recognition because she was close to Naruto and Pain's battle. And hence her soul was trapped, roaming around the world forever, returning from the King of Hell's mouth. As Hinata's soul stood near Naruto as she watched Naruto and was quite shocked at what she was seeing. And time went by. 2 years passed as Naruto with his own hands built Hinata piece by piece, and she watched closely as after building everything and powering the core and chakra system, Naruto forgot about one thing, the soul. How am I going to get it? As he finally fell to his knees, realization dawned on him at what he forgot was the most important thing. I can't do anything about it. The soul is gone. And what it looks like is that Shinigami-sama doesn't have the soul. How am I going to get the soul back? He was in despair, but suddenly he turned around to see the right hand chakra getting into the body, as his eyes turned black, meaning that his eyes were closed. And he was thinking deeply before he heard a voice, Naruto-kun? As Hinata was back inside an animatronic body, as Naruto got up. Hinata, is that really you? As she nodded, as Naruto rushed towards her and hugged her. And after having a little bit of difficulty walking at first, she got the hang of it. And she was introduced to Hiyashi and Hanabi, who cried after seeing their daughter/sister live again and thanked Naruto. And not only that, Naruto proposed to Hinata in front of both of their families, much to their surprise and shock. But they were happy, and well, Hinata and Naruto were happy, and both of them married that day. Even if they couldn't have children, they still could have, well, through their siblings. Who knew? Both of them also held feelings for each other, as Hanabi and Menma were next in line to get married, and well, Menma became Hokage, and Naruto was there to celebrate his brother's inauguration that day, and will be there in future to guide him towards, well, prosperity and a better future, alongside the next generation of Uzumaki and Namikazes, as did his parents. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, as this is Apollo Uchiha and I'm signing out. Peace.